Hello and welcome, and today is that Friday, Crypto Day, 11th of May, 2018. Welcome. Of course, everything you do is within your own risk, own reward, and the chart on the screen is Extra Bytes, code XBY, and it is paired with that of Bitcoin. The chart on the blue, the blue line that is price action. Dates on the bottom of the screen. Something I don't do too often, but in this case, there they are. So December the 12th, as it was breaking 500, up to current. The chart on the top I'll talk about in a little while. And the price action, of course, has had a lot of major volatile moves, and it's even more so when you look at it priced in fiat currency, because as the price was making its higher prices, 3, 4, 5,000 Satoshi, well, at that point Bitcoin was doing really well, hitting 15,000, 14,000 price area. So that means today, with Bitcoin prices at around 8,400, or we'll even say less than almost half, little more than half, and the price down like 8 times. That's like, oh, well, against the currency, then it's down about 13 times instead of like 8 times. That's basically the point that I'm getting across. But for me, my goal as a trader is to try to make my portfolio as high as I can. As I stated before in a recent video, it makes it very difficult when I really don't have I have access to the Tether and the true US dollar, but to get out of cryptos into a manner very simply into other things like basically, well, dollars or precious metal funds or even stocks for that matter within cryptos. If I could do that very easily, it'd be interesting in how that would help me also try to increase my portfolio. But the way I look at it is, I expect the prices to go up and down. Crocodile teeth has been stated as a term from the webbot, and thus profit from the volatility, increase my Bitcoin total, and when Bitcoins are worth a lot, I can sell them when they're high, which is like what I like to do within these alternate coins. So then, the indicator on the top is not an indicator, rather that's the amount of XBY in which is my ownership, how many that I own. So as the price was rising at the end of the year into that of start of this year rather, I was obviously unloading. As we can see, share sizes or token sizes going down, prices going higher. And then for the most part, the tokens stay the same, but obviously today and yesterday I have been buying, and now I got levels not seen since around the start of the winter, December 21st-ish. When looking at this even further, there was a decent sell right here in the amount that was sold. So where was this? And it was like after my portfolio didn't change much for a few days. So of course that would have happened on the run up as it was breaking the resistance of about 700 upwards to about 1200. So that was the first sale on sale load. But in here, this is where the major profits came in, as in this point here I wasn't doing anything because, as we can see, the price came down from like 1200 to like 1000, but as it was breaking this resistance in here, that's what I was selling all of these tokens in here, basically 1500 all the way through the highs. So when you look at selling in here and buying in here, if you're buying at around 530 and selling at about 3,500, that means that order that took place, I can, well, kind of get 7 times more, 6, 7 times more, and on other ones, 2 times more, 2.5 times more, 3 times more. And this buy level that I'm at, I'm only getting started with my buybacks. I got my 500 price covered. I haven't covered my 400 buys or my 300 price buys because I haven't been able to get them there. I have buy orders ready just in case at this time. But it enables you to get amazing profits. And I'll do the same thing again when future rallies exist. Just unload the amount that I own, take the profits. Since I started buying at 500, I'll probably look to start selling up in here. I want to accumulate more. So if I'm able to buy at like 400 and say 350, 375, then I'll start unloading up in here or around 800, 900, 1,000, and so on and so forth. Now, as far as a couple of these blimps were concerned, I'm going to start with this one here. So what happened to make me to decide to sell it quite a bit and then buy a little bit back? Was it because the market rose after I sold a little bit? No, that wasn't the reason. There was a few reasons I sold. Number one, the main one, was because I felt this could go down further. And I decided to just play this on a different exchange. However, the very next day in playing in the exchange, I was able to secure amazing sell orders for prices as high as like 4,800 Satoshi, which meant I was able to buy back the exact amount that I sold. Thus, this increase was merely that of a free roll because I was able to sell or buy back like a decent amount more than I sold when I'm selling at 4,800 and say selling at 3,200 and 2,400 or whatever the numbers, the sell orders that I had that got hit. When the price at that time was trading at about like 1,300, 1,400 up in here somewhere. The next little blimp in here was during this point as the market was going higher. And at the price point at about 1,300, I decided to sell. I've seen this story way too many times. I thought about selling everything that I had, actually. I really, really did. And even at different times back in here, I was thinking about making a big sell unload, and I wish I would have. But that's fine. And I seen at this point that what was going on was that number that I talked about, Fibonacci level at 640, probably going to pierce below it, easily, most likely buyable below 600 into the 500s, which exactly is what happened. But that's what I decided to do. And then sure enough, the market did what I thought it was going to do. Now, as I figure, this code is probably going to work in line within Bitcoin prices and always within fundamentals. And I wish I could go through some fundamental numbers and just tell you a whole bunch of cool different things. But I realize if fundamentals are things you understand, then you would have a much better job than myself at understanding it after you go and do your own research for the situation. And so Bitcoin, and I talk about Bitcoin's in a situation where it's either going to fall from the 8,000 key level and probably have a decent chance of hitting 3. And if that happens, this thing could fall pretty decent more. But that also means that even all the stuff that I sold beforehand. Why did I choose December 12th as the start date? Very simple. I started with the date where my next sell order was north of 500. So my sell order, which happened on like December 10th, 11th, all those ones where I was selling at like 480 and even at, for that matter, like 360. Because I was buying at 200, even 330 I think I was selling at. I haven't counted those, and I will if the price goes lower, because I'll be buying as it continuously goes lower. Understanding the risk of what I'm putting in, but realizing that if the crypto becomes tulip bubble like and it just totally crashes, this will go down with it, but it's all going to go down for me anyway, so what's the difference if I put it in this or which other ones within? And if the Bitcoin markets break that 10,000 number, we start to see 11,000, 14,000, 20, 40, 60, 80, and so on, then I think this is going to have tremendous gains to the upside. And if a day does come, and I do think it will, but I don't know how long it could take. Time, just let it pass is how I look at it. But if it comes onto an exchange like Bitfinex and Binance, this thing is going to soar in the periods leading up towards the movement to the exchanges. And then, of course, a lot of holders like myself and so many others will move some, all, or part of their XBYs to those exchanges because that will be the place to trade them. And I would probably move them all there, or a vast majority of them. But if of course it goes to either one of those two, and or I should be saying as well. And at that point, of course, it would be more known. It would be better traded, and that would be pretty cool. But the sum of the game is I trust my numbers. I trust the mathematics myself that I talk about, aka Fibonacci retracement. And thus, I'm going to be, and I am executing it to the best of my ability. So to me, this is the time where I believe it's good to accumulate, because I wouldn't be surprised if even on a bullish or bearish level that this can go up from here. And on a bearish level, what I mean by that is the price can come up somewhere like in here or here before it rolls over. And on a bullish level, obviously it just goes higher. But even if it doesn't find much support and it keeps going down and then it has this big rise, I'm happy with that too. Because again, I'll be accumulating more. And if I'm buying at 500 in early May and selling at 1400 next May, after accumulating in say June and August and whatnot, then that's just how it's going to be. Okay then, thank you for tuning in to this video, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.